to show up to this. That's it's a thank you very, but genuinely fucking thank you very much. I know some of you, and crazy. I don't know you guys. And it came out of my mouth like a threat, but fucking thank you. That's. I don't know you guys. You look amazing. Don't know you guys at the back. You're not usually my audience, but you were such a nice man at the bar. I just maybe want to kiss you sometime.
Your beard might get in my road.
You know, the way I was planning. What? Okay. Oh my God! No, I was genuinely. I didn't think anyone was going to come because Old Fern Day in Glasgow. It's Mother's Day. And it's also International Day of Trans Visibility. So, like, all of that has something for everybody, you know. In some cases, twice, you know. My mum loves Celtic, so yeah. So this genuinely makes up for the other day when my girlfriend caught me cheating on my diet. Basically in the same way as if she'd actually caught me cheating. My phone was in the living room, I went out, and then there was suddenly a Google review notification popped up, said how was McDonald's Princess Street. And Mac was just like, the fuck is this? It was just flavor menu cheeseburgers, it didn't mean anything. Starts going through my messages, there's text from Papa John, I don't know what I'm going to say to that. Found out I had a second phone, nothing on it, except the Just Eat app should arrange it. You know, there's that phrase, why do you have a McDonald's when you can have a steak at home? Well, I was having McDonald's because I was fucking starving. Steak at home is rice cakes and hummus. That's why I did it, so okay, there we are. Laughs, remember that. Have the muscle memory of laughs. Because I want to tell you about... I want to tell you about a guy I find very difficult to deal with. Okay, let me explain. I'm from Edinburgh. I appreciate sometimes I get a rile in Glasgow. I don't understand. I don't understand why that is. I love Glasgow. I know there's Glaswegians who like Edinburgh. For me, we should be uniting against the real enemy. Dundee. That's the shit. I mean, you've seen their #1 tourist attraction, a boat, the Discovery. It's a boat, a thing famous for taking people away from Dundee. That's what it is. That's it. But this, I'm from Edinburgh, and I was, a couple of Sundays ago, I was walking past a hip coffee joint in town. And I saw a guy going in, like a posh Edinburgh uni student type of guy. And he said to his friend, what I later determined, was that he wanted a croissant. What he actually said was, I could murder a cheeky quass, is what he said. He said the words, I could murder, I could have murdered him. Like if I'd worked there, I'd have been like, I'm sorry sir, we don't have any croissants, but let me check in the back, see if there's a pan of chocolate I can stick up your ass. Like, and I think we don't like that guy, okay? I think we that guy. And the worst thing about that guy, let me share with you, but the worst thing about that guy is that guy isn't real. I said it. I said it. And not to a friend, but not to a friend. There was no friend there. I said it to myself, inside myself.
Build it up.
And it wasn't a hip coffee joint, it was a Tesco Metro on a Monday. So it was just, and you're like, I'm unhappy, and you're probably looking at me going, what, an overweight man, white man in his 30s who's slightly miffed, what a story he must have to tell, okay? That's where we live. But like, I like there's young folks, there's little, you probably are already aware of this, but there comes a point, anyone who's in their 20s, where, you enjoy this, because there's going to come a point where you think you can be or do anything, and then something happens and you go, oh, well, what if this is it? What if I'm just a fucking idiot? My advice is, if you haven't done whatever it is you want to do with your life by the age of, 5, it's fucked. You never do it. You never do it. And that's the thing. It's okay. Like this is the show. What's the show about? The show is about. I'm not woke, but I'm trying. Like I've set my alarm and I've my clothes for the next day. That's my intention. Like, I mean, I'm a petty person. Like, I'm not the ideal person. I'm a petty person. Like, last year, I made the New Year's resolution to become a vegetarian. And then I gave it up when we hit last March because I got hay fever. Okay, and my whole thinking, let me fill you in, my whole thinking about helping the environment and nature was, if it's not willing to help me, I am fucked if I'm helping it. Like, on the day I found out that I had hay fever, and found out, like, an HIV diagnosis or something like that, like, big changes. I went to McDonald's and I got myself some chicken nuggets, okay? Like 20, like the big that was 20 revenge McNuggets. You know, and I had a Fanta, and every sip I used a different plastic straw. You know? And a guy tried to take them away, and I'm like, leave them, I want to throw them into the sea myself, okay? I was livid because, firstly, I didn't know that you could get an allergy. I thought you had, I thought you were born with it naturally. I didn't know you could contract it, but you know what I mean? You know, and so I was like, it's almost as if I was waiting for the hay fever people to go, sorry, we've made a mistake, let me take that back for me. You know, because like every time it hits springtime now, I look like I'm suffering a staggering bereavement, you know. People are phoning me up going, do you want to go on a picnic? And I'm like, unless it's on the roundabout of an industrial estate, like, no, thank you. I mean, you know. But it boils down to this, is that there was an ego at work, I thought I didn't deserve to have it, okay? And I don't just mean like for doing vegetarian and that kind of stuff. I was like, wait a minute, I'm a proud ally of the countryside, okay? I used to be in the Young Ornithologists Club, I used to do conservation work at school, you know, I actually like the film Avatar, I think it raises some interesting points. I was like, no, I don't understand why pollen isn't differentiating, okay? That's the sort of person you're dealing with. I feel victimised by fucking flowers, okay? And this is genuinely, like, today was nice and sunny, and I fucking hated that. I'm sorry if you all liked that, but I hate this time, not just because of the fucking hay fever, it's the fact that I've found out that clement weather makes me a racist, okay? Okay, Twitter, relax. It's, you know. Like, I'm a particularly kind of Scottish type of, like, okay, let me, so today before the show in Edinburgh, I was walking around a park, and I was determined I was going to enjoy the sunlight for the first time, and I had shorts on, I had a t-shirt on, I was determined to get as much enjoyment and as much vitamins into my body as I possibly could. And then that is when I saw them. Groups of Italians, and groups of Spanish, and Americans, and they had hoodies on, and they had jackets on, and they had, I saw a Brazilian kid with mittens, okay, this is, and I just looked at what they were wearing, and I looked at what I was wearing, and I just thought, get fucked. Just get fucked. I mean, we get it. This isn't even in the 5 billion top days that your fucking country experiences. We get it, okay. You know, your tomatoes are sun-dried rather than you dab them with kitchen roll. Okay, we get it. You olives for breakfast. Yum, yum. Fuck, okay. You know, but like, I think in Scotland we can say that, like, fucking have a bit of decency, okay? Like, we are taking today for the 363 other days of the year where we open the curtains in the morning and want to fucking kill ourselves, okay? You know, like, I saw an Italian boy. I saw an Italian boy with a puffer jacket on. Like a puffer, like he's a fucking ice road trucker. I mean, and he had a tartan scarf on, okay? He looked like a puffer jacket guy, he didn't look like a tartan scarf guy. You understand why that's bad? Yeah, he bought the scarf here. Like, he knew he was coming to Scotland, he had a puffer jacket, and then he got off the plane, and it was worse than he feared, okay? So he topped up on winter shit in this country. Like, that's what he did. And I just, and his friend was even worse. And I just, in my head, I didn't do anything, I didn't say anything, but in my head, I became a racist. I just looked at them and I was like, hey, bonjourno, okay? I just wanted to go over them, and I just wanted to say, hey, lose the place, or fuck off back to your own country. I'm not proud of that, though. You honest though, Brexit will be what Brexit will be, right? But if there's not a vote for ripping jackets off the swarthy, I'm going to be writing that. I just want a guy going, come on sir, it's 30 degrees, don't be a dick. Come on. I'm not the person I want to be. Like, I lack empathy. I think that's clear. I lack empathy. I lack empathy. I got, I'm going to take a wee drink of your wine. Delicious. It was also to break up, to do something a bit more visual. That's as much as you're getting. There's no point this is coming out of the stand. That's, no, I do. I lack empathy, which is weird because a friend of mine asked to be like some moral support, and I didn't understand why he was asking me that. But this is my level of empathy, you know. So, have you ever been in town and you've seen like a bus go by and it's got like a film advertised on the side that's been out of the cinema for ages? That kind of thing. There's that. So I saw a variant of that. Like I saw, like just like a couple of days ago, I saw a bus in Edinburgh which was advertising Edinburgh's Winter Wonderland, and I thought that's early, and it wasn't. It was advertised for last. Like they hadn't replaced the advertising, and I became fascinated as to why that was. I started thinking it. Like I started getting like really upset for the bus. Like, oh bus, what's happened to you, bus? Where have you been for 3 months? What's happening? Oh my God, have you been forgotten, bus? I mean, is there something wrong? Are you being repaired? Why did it take 3 months? What's up, bus? You know, like that. There's a guy selling the big issue. I couldn't give a fuck, but suddenly the little engine that could comes by, and I'm like, give me a dent saver and let me go anywhere with you. You know, people are buying the big issue. No, I'll just spend it on bitterness. Come on, let's go. Why don't we see what the Sheriff Hall parking ride looks like? That, you know, that's not normal. I know that's not normal. Like, I don't feel good telling you, but I'm telling you, you know. Like, so when a friend says, "Could you be my moral?" and it's the worst place they could have deployed me as moral support. It was his dog was ill, and he needed to take it to the vet, and there was every possibility the dog might have had to have been put down. Yeah, nice. You had that look on you like, oh, that sounds terrible.
Have we talked about before from the whole empathy for that?
Yeah, well, so if you went to the same vet that I did, you know. And what type of dog was it?
Yorkie.
A Yorkie. Oh, fuck Yorkie. Like, I have to go with a Labrador. Like, that will melt the fucking rock hard of hearts, okay? Because like most dogs, like most other dogs, so don't get like, if they have eyes, like as if it's not like meat or another dog's arse, they have no idea what is going on in any given situation. But a Labrador is born looking like it's seen some shit. Like these, like those, like, you know, like the Andrex puppy. Andrex puppy, like when you're looking at it, it looks cute, but it looks like it's remembering when him and 7 of his brothers went off the war and he was the only one that came back, you know? You know, he's playing with like toilet tissue, and you can see in his eyes he's going to lest we forget, right? I mean, like that's a Labrador. That's a Labrador, which made what the vet said even more. What? Okay, the vet's just examining the dog. I'm standing back. I didn't know it was going to involve this. This is great. And then the vet looks up and goes, okay, well that is in fact bad news. And at this stage, the kindest thing we can do is have it destroyed, is what she said. Have it destroyed. Yes. Alright, fucking Ming the Merciless. Have it. Not put down, not put to sleep, just annihilated. Just flapped right into the sun. I mean, just, you know, like, and bizarrely, like, that's the kindest thing that we could do in this situation, is have it destroyed. Like, you know, she might as well, like, where did she learn to be a vet? On the fucking Death Star? I mean, like, it's as if she just said, okay, well, this child, this cherished member of the family, if we all just pick up something heavy and then let's just violently freestyle, and then if that doesn't work, there's a skip in the car park, we'll put it in and make it eat a firework. That's okay, too far for everyone except you. Yeah, language, like fucking, like I'm just, I have a healthy respect and a deep fear of language. I saw my uncle over Christmas, and he said, okay, there's a weird thing about like older generations, and I feel like I'm just in there. I knew a woman's moved in next door, living in the neighbour, and okay. And the woman, and I said, oh, okay, well, how is she? Do you get on? Do you have a nice time? And he said, I don't know. She doesn't have much jizz about her, is what he said. Doesn't have much jizz about her. And I had to ask him further questions. And what he meant was, just like jazz, like pizzazz, like zhuzh, like those kind of, personalities. Yes, is that what he said? Spunk. Okay, I get that. Yeah, like, so, but he said jizz, so like what he sounded like was some crazy old man who was just like, there's not enough of in this neighbourhood. The horse. Don't know what my council tax is going on, it's not horse. That's because, he's right, jizz is the wrong word for jizz. Like jizz, like you can see where the mix-up is, cum sounds primal and energetic, and, jizz sounds like there's fucking fairy dust, and, like doves are flying out, and there's a wizard doing a guitar solo. It's Hollywood and magic, the word jizz, I tell you what, and also, it's the wrong word because it's the wrong word in the act, okay? I'm going to come where everyone knows what that is, okay? I'm going to jizz, like if you hear God help you, if you hear I'm going to jizz, I'm going to jizz sounds like you're 6 years old at your birthday and you're telling your mum you're going to shit your pants because you've had too much diluting orange, okay? That's what that sounds like. But you are right. The other possibility is he said jizz, but what he meant was spunk. Because young people, spunk used to be a compliment, back in the day. Like, that used to be that full of spunk was the best thing that you could be. Full of spunk was the best. It used to be a compliment. Like it used to be, oh, Daddy, why are you tipping your hat to that man? I just love his spunk. That's used to be a thing. Used to be a compliment. Used to be like, now if you're full of spunk, you're on a regular course of antibiotics. It's a different. It's and that's the problem. That's the problem. That is the problem. That's where he's an older guy. That's where the problem lies. The problem lies in the fact that modern society has just kind of sexualized and ruined so many words. Yes. And I didn't know what was today in Parliament, but it is. So, thank you. But, and that's the thing, like spunk, semi, that's ruined, that's, there we are, yeah, exactly, yeah, I knew somebody fucking would, I knew, because you're not thinking of some stuff, you're imagining a little half-cock jittering to life, that's semi, that's what semi is now. Facial's the worst one. Facial is now in the bin as a beauty treatment, okay? Somebody says they're going for a facial, you don't know if they're treating themselves or they owe a guy some money. That's, and it's me, like I get it as well. Like that's like the double meaning that I get it. Like at Christmas time, like my mum loves spas, so I was going to get her a gift voucher for a spa. Well, the TripAdvisor said there was a nice one in Dunfermline. That should have been red flags. I mean, but I looked at one of the treatments, like the VIP treatment. You could get something called the Kingdom of Fife Luxury Facial. The Kingdom of Fife Luxury Facial. Wow, that sounds upsetting. Okay, that's to I don't want my mum anywhere near that. That's in my head. That sounded like you were wheeled into a room by attendants, and there was a Ned in an ermine cape, and he was just pulling the middle out of himself and stroking your face, whispering, "It's the will of the people." Okay, that's too far for something. me to the next bit, which is marked tit wank, will not happen. Language does scare me. This is the point. Language does scare me because I see it as a mental frailty. And not for everybody, whatever you want to do, but for me, I couldn't remember in a conversation once the word wrists. The word wrists. So I circumlocuted. I just searched for it, and I said hand ankles instead. I said hand ankles. It must have been 5 times in the conversation. So what does that say? First, I came up with the term hand ankles. Secondly, I've got friends who let me say hand ankles 4 other times. Okay? I wasn't just saying words to myself. Other people were there. Okay, that's. I was walking across a park in Edinburgh and I saw some mounted police and I just could not find that term. So eventually I said, crime horses, And let me tell you, the joy of coming up with the term crime horses rapidly diminishes when you start to think and have a panic that crime horses is the first sign of Alzheimer's. Okay, I began to have an anxiety attack in the street and I'm Googling what is good to stave off mental decay. Sudoku and oily fish, it turns out. Oily fish. So I'm fucking knife-handing it to a yo sushi, so... everyone else is having a nice time in there. I'm the only one shaking with existential dread, The guy's going, have you been here before? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is the whole point of being here. Now get the salmon past me before I forget the faces of everyone I love. Okay, and I get I'm overreacting. A way of describing my mental process is that when I was 6, I was bitten by a dog. And ever since then, I've been scared of being 6 again. Okay, it's just out of proportion. And I changed the bin. I changed the rubbish a couple of days ago, and I accidentally breathed in through my mouth. So I then had to brush my teeth and mouthwash because I thought, am I going to get bin cancer from this? Bin cancer. There. I'm glad the cancer is funny. I said bin AIDS the other day and that gone no place. Okay. It's just I'm not living my best life. Is anyone living the best life? Is that no? You definitely not. It sounds like I feel like there's an affinity between this and what's happening here. You just go, you're right. Let's all kill ourselves. Just going around with a fucking suicide party at the end of this joint.
All take the punch.
So have you even come close to best life? No. The closest I've ever seen of a guy living his best life was I was at a pub quiz in Aberdeen. So immediately, not my best life. And there were 2 teams, and at the end there was loads of teams, but at the end 2 teams. It was a tie, and they each sent up a member to take part in a tiebreaker competition. First one to shout out the answer that was the winning team. First team sends out this sensible, intelligent-looking woman. Second team, this guy just fucking rolls to the front. He is roasted. He is so drunk. This guy, and then the quizmaster says. The question, who wrote the book Pride and Prejudice? And there's a pause, and then this look comes over the guy, and he eventually says, was it me? Did I do this? Did I? Now, fucking yes, that guy. I want to be that guy, okay? I want to be the sort of guy who has the confidence that when he hears the name of a significant work of English literature, he doesn't immediately discount that he's got something to do with it, because it may have just slipped his mind. Like that guy, that is a living, the closest I've ever come to living my best life, and even then, it's on brand, but it's not desirable, is that after watching the Madeleine McCann documentary on Netflix, no, it's not a confession, I didn't do it, okay. After what, I saw it, and it was a binge watch over 2 nights, and I went around on the second night and checked that all of the windows were locked because I was scared that somebody would get in and snatch me away. Snatch me away. Me. I don't think that even the most committed paedophile thinks that there's a viable market for me on the dark web. Okay, but for a minute there, they were coming to get me, and I kind of felt wanted. And that's the thing they don't tell you about intense paranoia, is that it's actually fucking really good for the self-esteem. And that is that's the problem. Like I genuinely, all the demons came out. There is a disconnect. There is a disconnect between what I look like and how I am. And last year, first, I got asked to leave a restaurant because the manager thought that I was taking drugs in the toilet. But and I wasn't, because I never have. I've never done drugs. So I've done it once. I smoked a joint once. And immediately got the fear, because as I was walking back, some Neds in a car came by and leaned out and shouted, "Get a shave, Rasputin." And I was genuinely so surprised that they knew who Rasputin was. It fucking blew my mind. It was just 3 a.m. There's no way they're cruising the streets and getting up for a 9 a.m. fucking history lecture, okay? I was like, how do they know? And that's my own thing I've got to deal with. The fact that, I didn't do drugs again after that because of fucking intellectual snobbishness, okay? That's more stuff to do. But, I hadn't been taking drugs in the toilet. But I came out and the guy was like, "Sir," and he did that, as if around your nose, and I looked, and there was a little white mark around my nose, Wow, fucking it's like the police again. Just finding out the truth of what's happening. Okay, and it wasn't. It was moisturiser. It was moisturiser because I've been to the toilet for a moisturiser. I don't mind saying it. Fuck it. I hydrate like a bad man. Okay, I'm the sort of person who has a little, this is not Tuesday, so calm down. It was on a Friday, and I had a little pot with me, it was, it gotta look good on a Friday. So I'm in there, I forgot to do it, so I was doing it, and it was, and I forgot that bit. Oh no, it was, and I know my moisturisers. There's none of this L'Oreal Men Expert stuff. This was Nivea. This was, the stuff they make for Norwegian fishermen, Oh yeah, I don't like George Clooney's advertising something, I don't bite, but I see Ulrich bringing on some trout onto a ship, and I'm like, that guy looks good, okay, that's, sorry, I keep consulting this, and I apologise, this is a work in progress. But so is our lives, am I right? If you're a reviewer, you know the reviewer. Thank you. Where are we? Okay, this is going to be significantly shorter than we thought. So maybe you will get to hear about the tit wank. Well, I'll just say it now. I'll do it. I don't know. When I was talking about language, maybe the reason that I'm kind of obsessed with the double meanings that people are employing stuff is because I went to a Scottish Catholic school when I was a kid, and in a Scottish Catholic school, it's a place of learning. You can never ask any questions. When it comes to sex, so you come away with these fucking absolutely fantastical ideas about what some stuff is. And I remember my friend David coming in and telling us what a tit wank was. And as we all know, I guess, it's just the usage, additional usage of the breastfield areas for... Yeah, we all get it. My friend David said that it was the female equivalent of masturbating. The ladies who just have a cheeky rub. And I couldn't picture it. He couldn't show me exactly what I don't know if they're rubbing it, it's a cat and then a Bond villain, or you kind of doing like that. You're trying to get ink out of a biro or something like that. I don't know. You think about these things, and his reasoning was white comes out. So that's but the thing that he said was that and when we're finished, they're only halfway done. They're going, "Oh, that was brilliant. I want to go again," and I will. Like that's, and it was pre-internet as well. This is the problem. Like this is you get into a little mindset of what the fuck does that mean? Because I don't want to embarrass myself because it was pre-internet and you can't check on some stuff. So you just believe the people who told you. And I was like, David, where did you hear this? And he said it was my brother. And I went, oh my god, well, you're a cool brother who smokes cigarettes that smell like the butterfly house of the Botanic Gardens. Okay, that sounds legit. That's what weird cigarettes smell like to me as a child. You can see that it was truthful that I said I didn't do drugs because, So I did ask other people, what do you think like a joint smells like? And somebody from the back of the room went, joy! And I was like, okay, that's some stuff to do with. But I'm just anxious. I'm just anxious about it. My girlfriend goes away very often, and I just can't be on my own in the house because it's haunted. We moved into a new flat and it's got ghosts. It's got ghosts. And who told me? The landlady told me. So she must be. And I also want my deposit back. So it's got fucking ghosts. Okay, and it was because she moved out and she still had a lot of stuff as we moved in, and it was all books. It was all books about ghost hunting, and I don't mean like works on parapsychology. I mean, like, just crazy stuff, like interviews with, like, the guy from Most Haunted, okay? It was very definitely that this woman, there was, like, some of them stuff were called, like, They Walk Amongst Us. That was a book that was there. There was one that said, Your Ancestors Are Watching. That was a book on the shelf. Like, the afternoon wine was nearly out the window when I started going to do it in the spare room like an animal, like forgot the laptop, so I had to like fucking watch QVC on the guest telly. It was like that was beginning to not be worth it. Like that was, and she came around to collect the books, and I was like, why are all these books here? And she said, defence. And I was like, okay. And she said, have you seen the dark figure in the hall? And I was like, no, but I was also shit my pants. Any time my girlfriend is, not in town, I just go out and then walk the streets till about 6 a.m. Then I go home and then sleep in the bath with all the lights on. If I do have to go home, I've taken to leave the radio on at Radio 1 Extra, like R&B and grunge. I'm like, there's got like upset dead people from the past have got to want to avoid modern contemporary music, And nothing has ever happened. Like nothing has ever happened that I can say that there's been a ghost. Like, well, sometimes there's like noises. My girlfriend will go, calm down, it's just the house settling. And I'm like, what the fuck has it done all day? Like, the house has done bugger all every day since it was built. Why does it need to relax? What's it done when we were out, And I'm just like, I'm in that position because nothing's ever happened, but somebody told me it was haunted, so I'm scared shitless. Okay, that's it. And then again, but it comes from the fact that you can't check. Like I was born in a time when you can't easily check facts. So when somebody told me that, the urban legend we now know is an urban legend of spiders getting in your mouth, you consume like 5 spiders over the course. Did you just have one now? Is that what? Oh, I love chips. But when I heard that at the age of 7, I was like, fuck, I can never go to sleep. I got like a sleeping mask. And I used to put it over my mouth so that spiders couldn't go in. And then I was like, but there's other ways in. And I used to pack pillows around my head so they couldn't get in through the ears. And I thought I was safe until my sister said, what if it gets up your arse? And she laughed, and then I laughed, and then my mind went, yeah, but what if? And I did not sleep that night for clenching. Okay, this guy in front of you, I'm the product of like 4 hours sleep every night since I was 7. Okay, tell me. Like, I believe what people. I was out walking the other day, and I saw. Thanks for the laugh of walking. Like that was the unbelievable part. Like that was the way you just went, nah, don't even. You haven't never walked in your life. Yeah, I've got a pedometer thing on, a Fitbit on. It's great. Where am I? 4,000 steps. Okay, well, let's go off the but no, I was out, and I was walking down a place, and there was like an abandoned church, and there was like carpet warehouse, and there was a river, and I began to smell toast. And I didn't think yum toast. I thought, why am I smelling toast? Am I having a stroke? Okay, that's you know that thing of like, when you're having a stroke, you get like that urban legend of people smell burning, people smell toast. And that's me. Like, if I can't immediately see the source of the toast, I think it's not hidden toast. It's I'm gonna die. Like, it's gonna happen. That's what I thought it was gonna be, And what it turned out to be was a bunch of hipsters that owned like a fucking lunch cafe thing in the abandoned church. And that's the thing they don't tell you about gentrification. It makes hypochondriacs shit their pants. Okay, that's and then I asked a friend who was a nurse, like, is this true? Because I began to be like panicked about it, and she went, yeah, but it's not a stroke, it's a heart attack. And I went, are you fucking kidding? And then we Googled it, and I was like, I'm sure I've seen it as a stroke. And as I Googled it, it's not. It's stroke, heart attack, and brain tumour. So I've now got like 3 fucking panic modes. And as I was thinking of trying to articulate this bit when I was trying out for a night, I was actually making toast. Like, I was actually making a bit of toast. And I was like, I can smell some toast. And I was like, yeah, but you can see some toast. And I was like, yeah, but what if the smell and the visual image are not connected? And I'm not even safe when I can see the toast. That is also a place where I might be having a stroke. And then I had a stroke trying to think of this. Like, it's just... I just need to consult my life. Yeah, sorry. I'm not manly man. I'm not. That's the thing as well. There's a kind of weird. Like, I don't like man spreading. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I thought man spreading was when the butter is still too cold from the fridge. You try and spread it anyway, and you end up just hacking your way through the bread. And I thought the word man was just like bad. Like, I thought that was like, I thought man spreading was you spread badly. Like, I thought that's what it was. But I told this to a friend once, and he said, well, just get used to it. You're a pussy. And no, I'm not. Like, I'm not a pussy, okay? I'm not a pussy, because a pussy is actually a really strong thing, okay? And a pussy is an incredibly strong thing. It's the wrong term, okay? Again, it's another case of it's the wrong term. Most of us have entered the world by smashing our way out of a pussy, okay? There's blood and there's screaming. It's a crime scene, right? But then the pussy and the pussy's owner are like back at work 20 minutes later, okay? That is strong. That is I don't know, they're operating heavy machinery, they're lifting 8 times their body weight just for a laugh, okay? What I am, the reality of the situation, what I am is, I'm a ball bag, okay? I'm a cock and balls. And you're a cock and balls, and you're a cock and balls. We're not going to do the whole thing. Thanks for coming. And why am I a ball bag? Because there's too much skin. It's weirdly hairy, and if I receive a knock, I act like it is the worst pain that anyone has ever experienced, okay? This idea, oh, you're a pussy. No, you're not. Ball bag is the way. So like the haunted house, women were talking at the bar later on, and I asked you, do you want to come back to mine? I'm not hitting on you, relax, like I love my girlfriend. I just want to see if you'd be interested in sitting in my hallway with like a broom or a shoe, like a hard dress shoe, and just guarding me while I sleep, okay? And this is the end. And the worst thing about it is when I was standing at the back of the Tesco Metro, looking at the croissants, there were only 2 left. And so I picked up the bag, and I thought I had the bag in my hand, but it was so gossamer thin that it slipped out, and it was on the ground. And I thought I was placing some croissants into the bag. I wasn't. I was just tonguing croissants onto the floor. And, you know, if anybody had been watching me, they would have been like, is that a guy or is that some cats in a guy suit, you know? You know, the bunch of cats who went, well, we're taking our enterprise of gently nudging stuff off of other stuff in private as far as we can. Let's see what we can do in the big wide world. And I'm looking down and I can see the bag like a tiny forlorn little ghost and the 2 croissants, and I was like, for fuck's sake, I just wanted a cheeky croissant. And then the baker arrived. The guy from the baker bit at the back arrived with a wicker basket thing of a whole new bunch of croissants, and he took out that tray and he put that tray in, and I got 2 fresh, delicious croissants. So everything was fine. But also it wasn't. But also it was. That's basically that. That's, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the show, which should have been an hour, but is only in fact 45 minutes now. So. Is there anything you want to hear again? Anyone got any questions? Genuinely, thank you for being part of this. Like, this is the first time I've ever done the Glasgow Comedy Festival, and it's genuinely nice to see faces that I've never seen, and faces that I have seen before. And thank you for coming to the show. And there is my girlfriend. Sorry that so much of it is about you giving me anxiety or telling me to fucking deal with the anxiety. I am a nightmare to be with, but you genuinely been wonderful, and this is called Self Hlep. I regret that name now. If anyone were looking for any actual constructive ways to build and live your lives, I'm so sorry. None of that was forthcoming. So when I do this at the Edinburgh Festival, I'm calling it Shitegeist. Okay, that's what the actual name of the show is going to be. And there'll be more stuff. It seems, it seems pretty. Like I never really shared anything about what I wanted from life. To counterpoint what I didn't want, which was everything. But that is kind of. There's some other stuff I didn't do, but it wasn't ready. I don't want to visit it on you. Yeah, because all of that was like solid gold. Tell me more about your fucking fear of the smell of burning shit. You've been great. Thank you very much for being part of it. I've been Ben. Thank you very much.
So, you had a good break?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready for your next act of the evening? Yes. So, please welcome to the stage the incredible Ben
Yes, that is indeed a chalice of wine that I'm having there. Cleverly disguised as cider. Hi, hello, how's it going? Thank you for being here. This is about 50 million more people than I've actually booked for the Glasgow Comedy Festival show, for which I'm going to do some stuff just now. And yeah, it's just as a bit of a qualifier. I'm just doing this is the first iteration of the show, and I find I've asked a lot of questions and I haven't necessarily got any of the answers. But imagine that I do, and that's in the half an hour you don't get to see, so, Another way of putting it is, thanks for coming, you'll leave ultimately disappointed. So that's... I'm just looking at the set order of I don't know what the fuck I was thinking this morning. Like, there's going to be stuff about vegetarianism and the weather, and then there's going to be stuff about racism and jizz. So, you know, you look disgusted. What?
I like how it's like a PowerPoint where you're introducing the topics first and making a summary at the end.
Well, so I know, like, some of it gets pretty bleak, so I need to understand whether you want that to happen or not. So, you know, and there's all the jizz seems to be a flashpoint with audiences, so I need to. I mean, the material I do, not like there's no. Don't worry, there's no interactive element. Actually, I probably need that. No, okay. No way, stay here. Put you here. That'll be. Okay, like let me just. This whole show is about. I want to talk about a guy that I find difficult to deal with. Okay. Let me first, ma'am. Let me explain this. I was walking a couple of Sundays ago past a hip coffee joint in town, and there was a guy, like a posh Edinburgh uni student, who was going in, and I heard him say to his friend what I later determined is he wanted a croissant. What he actually said was, I could murder a cheeky quass, is what he said. I could murder a cheeky quass. So when I heard that, I could have fucking murdered him. Like if I'd worked there, I'd be like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't seem to have any croissants, but let me check in the back to see if I can punch you in the fucking head. Like, I think we agree that guy is a bit much. Like, that guy is problematic. That is. And you know the worst thing about that guy is that guy doesn't exist. It was me, I said it. And not to a friend. There was no friend. I said it to myself inside myself. I said that. So yeah, that's the guy we're talking about. It's me. I am never done feeling irritated and disbelieving and embarrassed about myself. And the terrible thing about that particular incident is it wasn't even a hip coffee joint. It was a Tesco Metro on a Monday. That's. And I was standing there, and there was only 2 croissants left in the little kind of thing at the back. And I pulled out the bag, and the bag is so gossamer thin, I thought I had it opened, but it actually slipped through my fingers, and it was lying on the ground like the most forlorn ghost. So I thought I was putting croissants in the bag. I wasn't. I was just tonguing croissants onto the floor. Like, if anybody had been watching, they must have thought, is that a bunch of cats in a guy suit who've just gotten together because they've taken, like, gently nudging stuff off of other stuff in their own homes as far as they could, and now they're taking the operation outside. It was the saddest moment. There was the dead ghost bag, and there was 2 croissants. And I looked around, and there were people there, so I didn't have to make the choice about picking them up off the floor and still getting them. But I just, like, that, and before you think this is going to be a show about, oh, woe is me, like, the problem is me, and fuck me. That is, like, thank you for getting on board now. You're gonna hate me in 29 minutes, okay? Like, it's like, we had, like, okay, I mean, like, I'm glad it was hailing today. Sorry if anyone else is looking for spring to begin. Fuck his, I don't want it to happen. We had a bit of an emergency a week ago, you know, when we had... And the reason I don't want spring to start is that climate weather makes me racist, and I am not pleased with that. Someone else as well, brilliant. There we are. No, like, okay, so this is, right, okay, so, right, you remember when we had, like, a week ago, we had, like, there was a nice couple of days, and it was really nice, and, you know, when you live in Scotland, you seize those moments, and I walked out and I had, like, a t-shirt on and shorts on. I wanted to get as much vitamin C inside of my body as I possibly could while I could. And then that's when I saw them. I was just walking about Edinburgh, and that's when I saw them. So groups of Italians, and groups of Spanish, and Americans, and they were wearing coats, and big jumpers, and scarves. I saw a Turkish boy with mittens on, okay? And I looked at what they were wearing, and I looked at what I was wearing, and I was just like, oh, get fucked, okay? Just get fucked, you know? We get it. Like, this day isn't even in the top 5 billion days that your country has ever had. We get it, okay? Your tomatoes are sun-dried, you don't dab them with kitchen roll, okay? Right, we get it, you can grow olives for breakfast, but we are taking that day. I was taking that day for the 365 other days of the year where you get up in the morning, open the curtains, and immediately want to kill yourself, okay? Like I saw an Italian guy, and he had a puffer jacket on, right? A puffer jacket like he was a fucking ice road trucker, okay? And the worst thing was, he was a puffer, but he was also wearing a tartan scarf, and awkwardly, right? He looked like a puffer jacket guy. He didn't look like a tartan scarf guy, okay? You get that why that's bad? Yeah. Like, he bought the scarf here, okay? Like, back where he had, he knew he was coming to Edinburgh, he had a puffer jacket, and then he got off the plane, and it was worse than he'd feared, you know? He was like, my puffer jacket is not able to deal with this. So he topped up on winter shit here. Like, that's what he, like, and his friend who was standing with was even worse, and that's when I lost it, and that's when I became a racist, and I just wanted to go up to them, and was like, hey, bonjour, no, okay? Bonjour, no. I'm just in my head, I just wanted to say to them, look, lose the fleece, or fuck off back to your own country, okay? Have some common decency, you know? Like, Brexit will be what Brexit is going to be, right? But if there's not a booth for ripping jackets off the swarthy, I'm going to be cross, okay? You know, just like, I just want a guy there going, come on, sir, it's 13 degrees, don't be a dick. Like, it's just... I get it, right? I have an empathy problem. I've got a perspective problem. This is a good indicator of my perspective on any given subject. When I was 6, I got bitten by a dog. And ever since then, I've been scared of being 6 again. That's what we're dealing with here. That's what we're doing. Like, I got asked to be somebody's moral support for something, and I was like, what are you choosing? Like, I mean, this is like, I've never been moral support, and it is because I've got an empathy issue. Like, have you ever seen, well, you know, sometimes when a bus will go by, and it'll have a film advertised on the side of it for like something that's been out of the cinema for ages, and it kind of like jars you out of your thoughts. Like, I saw that. I saw a bus go by, and it had an advert for Jurassic World on the side of it. Like, it was April that was out. This was September when I saw it, and it was on ITV the other night. That's what we're dealing with here. It's done, that film. And I looked at the bus, and I suddenly became heartbroken for what the bus had been up to in that couple of months. Like, something must have happened. It must have been sitting in the depot. What was wrong with you, bus? What happened? They couldn't have forgotten about you, bus. You're a bus. Everyone needs buses. Oh no, did you need repairing, bus? Oh my god, bus. You know, there's a guy selling the big issue, couldn't give a fuck. But the bus, the little engine that could comes by, and I'm like, give me a day ticket, take me anywhere. You know, guy's asking for change. I'm going, no, forget it. Come on, let's use the bus. Like, come on, let's see what the Sheriff Hall Park and Ride looks like. Come on, like that. Like a legit, like an actual guy trying his best, and I'm like, I've fucking, this bus is what's good. And so this is why I find it quite difficult being a moral support. And the worst, and okay, like, it's not okay. Let's get out of here. It was a friend who was going to a vet that asked me to be his moral support. He there was the prospect. Okay, you're into this better than I thought you were going to be. This is where it usually tanks. So just let's okay. Well, I'm going to enjoy it while I can and have some of this. So. Wow, okay. I don't know if you're going to get the bit about jizz. This is more than I thought. So I went to, my friend, he's got a Labrador, and he was like, "Can you come with me? It might have to be put down, and this is a cherished family pet." And I've, that's fine. But the problem with Labradors and them being ill is that, like, Labradors, they automatically look old and cute all of the time. Like most dogs, when you look at them, their eyes suggest that if it's not meat or another dog's arse, they've no idea what's going on, okay? But a Labrador is born looking like it's seen some shit, okay? Like when you look at a Labrador, it looks like it's like when you think that Labrador doesn't know you're looking at it. It's like you can catch it, remembering the time that him and 7 of his brothers went off to war and he was the only one that came back. Like the Andrex puppy playing the toilet roll might look cute, but like you can see it going, lest we forget. Like that's what we're dealing with that kind of dog. And what made it worse is that the vet was looking at the dog, and she just looks up and goes, "Okay, well, this isn't looking good. I'm sorry." I think at this stage the kindest thing that we can do is have it destroyed. Is what she said. Yeah, have it destroyed. Wow. All right, Ming the Merciless. Have it destroyed. Not put down, not put to sleep, just obliterated. Like, just fucked straight into the sun. Like, just... Where did she study to be a vet? On the fucking Death Star? I mean, and that's the thing as well. And that was the kindest thing that we could have done in that situation. I don't know how she made the connection between the two. It's like she should have just said another way as well. Looks like what we're going to have to do with this cherished family that is, everyone grab something heavy and let's just violently freestyle for about 12 minutes. And if that doesn't work, there's a skip in the car park, we'll take it out, make it eat a firework, you'll be done by 5. Okay, that's... Okay, don't give me that, like, I did it. I'm extrapolating, I've not done it, but I do have that vibe, I've got you murdered a dog vibe about it. Like, I get it, like, I understand. I absolutely understand this. And, I don't know, I was just fascinated, with the words that she picked, and it's just like, its language is fucked. Here comes jizz. Its language is language is fucked. Like, I mean, and this. Okay, so here we are, right? So this is a case in point. Is that right? Okay. Is I hope I haven't built it up too much. Let's never talk about building up jizz. Let's never think about it like that. Yeah, that's good. We get like a minute, 2 minutes of this. Well, we get a minute, 2 minutes of laughter. I've done my job poorly. Like, if that's all it is in the running time. I was over Christmas there. I visited my uncle. My uncle said something weird. He said, "Okay, it's not that story. It's not that. It's the whole point." Every time I mention Uncle, people are like, "All right, okay, that's it. Okay. Is that why your beard looks washed? Is it? Okay, that's." Wow, that's too far. That's too far. Okay. No, so he, a neighbour has moved in. A new neighbour is a woman, right? And I was like, "Oh well, okay. Do you I don't know. Have you met her? Do you get on? Do you like her?" And he said, "Oh, I don't know. I mean, we've spoken, but she doesn't have much jizz about her." Is what he said. Like, doesn't have much jizz about her. And I was like, "What the fuck do you mean?" Like, what? And he explained, and I was like, okay. What he meant was like pizzazz, you know, those Z words for personality, pizzazz and zhuzh and like jazz and jazzy and all that kind of stuff, right? But he confused it. So he came across as a creepy man going, "Do you know what there's not enough of in this neighbourhood? Whores." Okay, I don't know what my council tax is going on, but it's not whores, evidently. I can't see any of them out of the window. And he is right, though, is the thing. Like, he is right. The problem he had with that is that the jizz, it is the wrong word for jizz, okay? You know, like, I get, when you say cum, like, people, it's energetic, it's primal, okay? Thank you for imagining me in those scenarios. But jizz sounds like Hollywood and magic is how it sounds. Like, it sounds like there's glitter and doves are flying out. There's a wizard doing a guitar solo in the back, like on a hillside at sundown, like that. Like, it sounds like that. And it's the jizz is the wrong word. Because it's the wrong word to use in the situation, okay? Somebody says, I'm going to come, we get it, we know you're going to come, right? Somebody says, I'm going to jizz, like, I pray that you've never been in that situation, right? I'm going to jizz, like, it doesn't, like, I'm going to jizz sounds like you're 6 years old, it's your birthday pie, and you're telling your mum you're going to shit your pants because you've had too much diluting orange, okay? That's what that sounds like. And I'm unpacking it this way because, like, another thing to think about is with language is that he did get confused, not the way I thought, but like he got confused and he meant spunk instead of jizz. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so because spunk used to be a compliment back in the day, okay? It's been ruined now, but back in the day, being full of spunk used to be the best thing that you could be. Dad, why are you tipping your hand to that guy? I just admire his spunk, son. That's, you know, like it was daring, it was adventurous, it was brave. You were a plucky British hero, okay? Full of spunk. Now, if you're full of spunk, you've got to have a regular course of antibiotics. It's that is the problem with all. That's sort of the problem with all of these words. Is that, like, society now, like, he's an older guy, so I can see what the problem is. Because society has sexualized and ruined so many. Spunk. Semi, that's gone. Yes, exactly. You're not laughing at the thought of something, are you? You're imagining a kind of half-dick jittering to life, aren't you? That's what you hear. That's what it is, you know. Facial, that's in the bin now. Like, as the name of a beauty treatment, that's gone. Facial, that's the end of that. That's like somebody says they're going for a facial. You don't know if they're treating themselves or they owe a guy some money. Oh, yeah. And the worst of it was, it was at Christmas time. My mum loves spas, and I was like, I want to get her a gift voucher. And there was apparently one on TripAdvisor that was really good in Dunfermline. I find that hard to believe. I should have the word Dunfermline. I should have had alarm bells ringing. But I looked at the I was going to call it the menu. It's not a menu. The list of treatments. One of the VIP packages had a facial, which was called the Kingdom of Fife Luxury Facial. Of Fife, wow, luxury, oh no it isn't, facial, okay, and that's the thing, like the word has been ruined for me as well, so I didn't see a nice relaxing thing. I was like, close the window, I don't want my mum anywhere near this, okay, that sounds upsetting, that sounds upsetting, like it sounds like that you get fucking, I don't know, wheeled into a room and there's a Ned in an ermine cape just pulling the middle out of himself. Best of Enya's playing in the background. And fights and shit. And then he's gently stroking your face saying, it's the will of the people. That's... where are we? Okay. Like, that's basically my half an hour. I did that, so I might go then. I've abused your brains now. Like there's only one bit, which is a line that just come up to me. It's like a lot of comics. I will do this because they want to make like their dads proud of them. Like my dad is proud of me. Like I'm not proud of me is the problem. That's going to be the theme of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, you've genuinely been wonderful. Thank you for being part of We Comedy Weekend. I hope they get to do it again next year. If you want to see the other half of that show, it's going to be happening on Sunday the 31st of March at the State Bar in Glasgow. Currently I have sold, out of the 50 seats, 2 tickets. So please tell people. Actually don't, because if you report any of this, they'll be like, don't think it's for me. I don't think that's for me. Listen, you've been great. I've been Ben Verth. Thank you very much, guys.